Hi there, it's Sarah from E2E, and I really appreciate you taking a minute to go on a quick tour of this product. I think you're going to be really impressed with what it can do and how timely and appropriate it is, as well as how easy it is to implement. So this project is a step-by-step guide to take your students through the process of researching the phenomenon of chronic absenteeism in our schools. As you know, we have a lot of kids skipping, not coming to school, timely issue. You do the research. You can have an option to have students do some first-person data collection, and then ultimately they're going to create a proposal for solving the issue of chronic absenteeism at your school. This is actually something that all of the senior English teachers at my school are doing with our classes, and we're hoping we'll actually come up with some solutions that we can present to our principal that will improve the situation in our own building. So when you buy the product, you're going to be taken to this document. And if you scroll down in the document, there's all the usual product description types of stuff. The meat is down here. You want to get to the part where it says 3 options for chronic absenteeism project materials. So you've got kind of a choose your own adventure scenario here for completing this project where students present about solutions for chronic absenteeism. The first option is the least difficult option. Everything is provided for you. All of the data, all of the primary data. They don't do any data collection. It's all just analysis. When you open up the documents, it'll take you to a folder. Everything you need for this option is right here, including a Start Here button. You go through each of the steps. First step, students are going to learn a little bit about the scope of the problem. So you can look at everything from the United States data and definitions. Everything is linked so that they don't have to look for the resources. And finally, they do some reflecting about the scope of the problem. They end up copying and pasting the information they collected down here, and it creates paragraphs. You can choose to compile that into an essay or a report. After they've learned about the scope of the problem, they move into why the problem is bad. Why is chronic absenteeism a problem for school? Once again, the materials have been pulled for them. They don't have to conduct the research. I've already pulled reliable sources for them. What they're doing is synthesizing and summarizing. Once they've finished with this step, they would move into some primary data that has already been collected. This is where the 3 versions start to diverge. In some of the versions like this one, primary source data has already been collected. Your students are just analyzing. In some other more complex options like option 3, your students will actually be gathering the data from your own building about chronic absenteeism and its reasons. So at our school, we had 100 seniors take this survey. It'll prompt you to make a copy. That way, the copy that you have will be one that you can actually push out and use for data collection. But it took us through everything from classroom environment and those impacts on truancy, social and emotional impacts on truancy, and environmental factors. This is an evidence-based survey with its roots in some things that the Des Moines School District did, but we also customized it to fit our district, and you could do the same. But if you're doing this option, that primary data has already been collected and aggregated for your students. They just have to do the analysis. You can see all of it's been aggregated here. Once they've done that analysis, they're going to talk about the implications of it. They move on to the next step. This is where they do a little bit of exploring from sources that have already been pre-selected about strategies that other schools have tried that have been unsuccessful in improving truancy and strategies that have been more successful in improving truancy. You want to see what other people have been doing that's worked and hasn't worked. Next, you can give them some practice formatting an APA references page. I've gone ahead and all of the data sources that I've used throughout the reports, I've gone ahead and copied and pasted all of those URLs here so that all they have to do is use Google Docs to create that APA reference page. In addition, there's a video on YouTube where I talk them through the process.
Hi there and welcome.
Of creating works cited entries. This is where things get a little bit more interesting. Step 6. students are going to go ahead and map out their own proposed initiative, their own solution to the issue of chronic absenteeism within the school. And once they've done that, they're going to go to Canva and customize a slideshow so that they can give a presentation. We're going to give the presentation to our own district superintendent. They can customize this slideshow. They open up each of the documents where they've collected their data and summarize that data here. Then they get up and they give their presentation. I've even got a rubric, makes it really easy to assess the kids on that presentation. You can make your own copy and customize this as you see fit. So there's your option 1. That's the least involved option. Let me show you just a little bit about how option 3, the most complex option, is different. The primary difference is going to be that students in step 3 are actually collecting their own primary source data and aggregating it. So what you'll do is you'll click on this student attendance survey, have them go through it. You'll want to make a copy. This will be the copy that you can edit. And you can go through, you can delete some sections, add some sections, change things, and customize this for your own building. It lets them work on the process of developing their own survey. You could also have them create a survey completely from scratch and use this as a model. Once they've collected that data, you can either run a report through Google Sheets, or what I prefer to do is click on this blank data aggregation sheet and have them actually go through and look at that data and hand aggregate it. The reason I like this option is because it makes them talk to the people around them and have conversations about what they've observed. Once they've done that, they're going to do some analysis and things proceed just like they did in step 1. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing, but I really do think that this takes students from a place where they're just doing an ordinary research paper to coming up and finishing a client-connected project where they present to stakeholders and actually come up with a solution to a real problem.